Alright, welcome to the video, guys. Name's Nico or Calypso. I'm gonna be talking about Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. There will be spoilers. I haven't watched full breakdowns yet. I've only seen Super Harbor Mike's playthrough, but yeah, again, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, don't want to see it, don't want to talk about it, this isn't the video for you. I hope you have a wonderful day, but anyway. So, also there might be some technical difficulties because I'm the eldest of 6. My siblings are home and I'm recording in my room. And I'm using a different microphone, so I don't know how the audio is going to function. So bear in mind, bear with me. First and foremost, Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. So I watched Super Horror Bro Mike's playthrough. And I had avoided most of the trailers, most of like the spoilers. Like I knew about the nightmare critters. I'm like, okay, it's kind of fun but kind of lame, whatever. I knew kind of about Dewey because I saw fan art. I knew kind of about the Doctor, again, fan art. I saw Pastra and other people kind of complaining about it, which we'll get to that later. But first and foremost, what are my thoughts? Generally it looks really good. It's fun. It definitely confirms some theories we had, which, that's kind of what happens with these things. And also introduced some new things, which I feel like should have been mentioned earlier. Like, for example, it turns out supposedly there's orphans down with the prototype and they're sleeping. Like, okay, so what's going on there? Like, why didn't Poppy mention this before? It's very clear that this human, this helper, is here to help. Like this person, which I personally am theorizing that he is going to turn out to be that teen that was aging out. Unless it turns out that he was put into Dewey, because there's talk about he was going to be put into Dewey, and then we see him talking with one of the other guys about how he got in trouble. Like, I need to actually watch someone do a lore breakdown, but and I do think that teen is a protagonist. Just because, like, the Doctor doesn't recognize our protagonist. The Doctor never met him. So, that's where my theory is coming, because the Doctor never met our protagonist. The Doctor doesn't recognize him. But the Doctor knows he's different. And that teen character, I mean, the main guys, Elliot, Sawyer, I think? That might be someone I know, I'll make some names. Sadie, whatever. All knew. And the Doctor knew what they looked like. But the Doctor never interacts really with play care. Like, he interacts with the kids that are taken, but never correctly interacts with play care or the people who are like doing factory stuff with the boxes and whatnot, which would make sense why this teenager isn't recognized, but why some people kind of recognize him. Like, if he was a kid that took care of other people, aged out, became an employee, left, and then came back because survivor's guilt. I mean, yeah. But now let's get on the pacing of the chapter. I honestly did not like how much they crammed into it. Like, I'm a person that thinks less is sometimes more, and show, not tell. Like, this chapter felt very much so like a tell. Or not tell, showing, or, yeah, tell, sorry. Tell. And you can tell I'm not working with a script here. But, like, they're very much so, we're like, oh, Joey is Jack. Joey has these 2 other kids in him. Joey is this and that. Joey killed his parents, or Joey killed his parents. Joey is angry, blah, blah, blah. And it just tells you, and doesn't show it. Like, they don't show Joey having this, I mean, Poppy is implied to have betrayed and left everyone, and that she is supposedly no different than the Doctor. Okay, we kind of got, like, in the earlier chapters, they kind of teased that stuff, which they didn't explicitly say. This one, they explicitly said, and I get it's, like, near the end of the, the game series. Well, not the series, but this, segment. And it's near the end, and people are like, right, if they're trying to get out all the, the little information. But, why not show them? Why not, like, because, like, what they did really good was with the toys being like, can we trust her? Can we trust her? But when they were explicitly doing, like, notes during the doctor, I'm like, like, I don't know, I think there should have been more, just to, like, and I just didn't like that they crammed the doctor and Dewey in the same chapter. I think the doctor should have been with the prototype or have his own chapter. Like, Dewey needed his own chapter so you could see that kind of, like, and I think what they're trying to go is, like, multiple personalities all in one. And the only time you really see it is when he's losing his temper, like, near the end. I would honestly would have rather have seen, like, glimpses of that, like, him being like, Poppy, you betrayed us. And you just kind of see, like, that shuttle, like, and, like, how it'd be interesting to see how each one, like, talks a little different would be kind of neat. Because if you, like, say if you have, like, say, multiple orphans from different areas, it'd be a much better distinction. Like, I don't know if there's supposed to be instances where before that, like, the different kids, quote unquote, take over. Because I'm looking at it from a DID perspective, which would be kind of clever. I mean, And also another thing is I don't see why they put multiple kids into Dewey. Like, the other bigger bodies, they don't do that. Like, Yarnby, they don't. Huggy, they don't. Missy, they don't. Poppy, they don't. Katie, they didn't. Catnap, they didn't. Like, and I don't know if it's just because, well, this'll, because Jack fell in, and then, like, the weird thing, because it's very explicitly clear that Jack is Dewey. And either Jack or this other kid is very aggressive. I think there's another kid that's very, David, maybe? I don't know. Another kid that's, like, very smart, but very aggressive, very much a troublemaker, not someone you should, put in such a thing, but, like, the doctor wanted it, whatever. Like, and I wonder if, I'm probably because of what they're going to say. It's like, oh, he wanted someone to be smarter, so he thought putting multiple brains in to make him smarter. Like, why would you, like, all in the pursuit of science, yes, but I don't know, like, there's, like, just things that are, like, like, why would you test multiple personalities and multiple brains into a creature that's whole thing is he can shapeshift his body into whatever he wants? Wouldn't it be safer to do it, say, on, Kissy Missy, one of the smiling critters, stuff like that? Like, things that are plush that are a little bit easier to kind of take out if need be, and you don't have to use cold or freezing. Like, we see Dewey get crushed and he's fine. Like, why would you give something that could be very unstable that form of power and body? Which is what's, for me, I'm like, yeah, I get it. By, like, the end, they were, like, losing it. Like, And it felt very rushed of the whole safe haven thing. Like, I wish we saw more of it. Like, cause, like, all we see in there is mostly smiling critters. Which, for me, I'm like, I kind of, like, we saw the scout and a bunch of smiling critters. And obviously none of them survived the prototype, quote unquote. But, like, I kind of wish it was a bigger area with a little bit more toys and stuff. And I wish it was on a little bit of a higher level almost. So, like, not in the prisons. Like, whether it was, like, right between the prisons. Like, I wish there was, like, a little mid area. You could be, like a hidden station that was, like, never finished. And that's where they hide and stuff. And, like, you could still have the prototype attack and stuff. Like, it actually might have been more interesting. If I was to do a rewrite, I would, safe haven, whatnot. Dewey's very, like, not, he trusts Poppy, but he doesn't. Like, he's very mad that she left because they lost a lot of toys because of it. Like, that sort of thing, like, whether they're dealing with constant attacks from Catnap, and, like, they're like, you're not Cat, like, you first meet them because they think, oh, you're Catnap, you're coming down to attack again, or, oh, you're one of the other smiling critters, and whatnot, that sort of thing. And then they realize, you're not, what's going on here? That's just my cup of tea. And then whether the end of the episode is the doctor himself attacking, would be kind of cool. And then that, like, you see everything gets destroyed. Then Dewey does his whole rage thing. And then the whole Ollie thing is, like, the whole Ollie thing, like, the thing is, it's like, oh, there's orphans down there. Okay, we don't know how, I don't remember if we know how long the factory's been shut down. Because the toys are all starving. There's no food. These orphans would be dead. Unless they're in some magic stasis chambers, which I don't think they are. I don't think these orphans are going to be alive. I mean, we've seen pretty much every helpful toy other than... Well, we've seen Kissy Missy's dead. I'm pretty sure she's dead now. Every helpful toy died. Like, we have no friends except Poppy. And so, like, why, like, at that point, like, I kind of wish they didn't just kill off the safe haven, because then you would have this moral dilemma. Blow everything up. Or try and get these people out. Like, and I think they might still try to do that with the whole, well, if you blow everything up, the orphans are gonna die. Like, it's just, my thing is like, I don't know. And then the whole doctor sequence, it felt so lore heavy. Like, I wish we got more in earlier chapters talking about the doctor, talking about who he is. And I get they're trying to go like, well, different security clearances, you get more and more. Like, again, if I was to rewrite it, I would have hints of the doctor throughout, like, Doey's chapter, and split these into two. And then the attack happening. Doey is gravely hurt, like the other two quote-unquote, like, personalities. It's like a free life system where, like, every time he gets attacked, one dies, in essence. And he loses more and more control, leaving the last one, which is just rage, unbridled rage. And then, obviously, the fight happens, and then Poppy sees you do it, and then you try and, like, go follow after her. And then the phone rings, you both freeze and try to call Ollie, and then there's a whole prototype thing, and then you fall, and that whole thing. But then you said you fall into the doctor's trap, and then that's the next chapter where the doctor's just toying with you. Like, I feel like they were setting up two things too much. Like, they're both, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen lore breakdowns, so I don't know, like, everything. Like, the whole thing of Katie, like, that was cool. That was a really cool pull-off. I didn't like that she... what is implied as her corpse in there. I would have liked to see her come out and be like Poppy, like, come out and, like, help her, like, something. Like, I want to see more characters like that, like Dog Day, like Katie, like Kissy, Doey. Like, what feels for the series is, oh look, there's a friend, they're probably gonna die. Like, you don't feel like you can form attachments to any of the characters now that I feel as much. Like, I loved how he was animated, but, like, okay, he's dead. Oh well. Like, you barely get to know these characters. You barely know Poppy, and you've been with her for 4 chapters now? Like, we know nothing about her, really. Like, we didn't even know that she was the head of a safe haven. She never mentioned it. At all. Like, and we get, like, Ollie's been this, like, well, you know, luring us and whatever. Like, I would have loved to see Doey, again, skeptical of Ollie. Like, he hears Ollie talking, he's like, we haven't heard Ollie in years. What's going on? Like, I want more of that spectacle. Like, none of the other characters are, like, skeptical of anything. They're like, okay. Like, I want to see characters be really unsure of this. Like, and again, looking back, Mommy Longlegs? Like, I assume she's probably possessed by Sadie, if I'm assuming things, but, like, or, like, some other character. But I'm, like, looking there, and I'm like, well, her motives don't make sense, really, anymore now, looking in the retrospect, because she would have known Poppy was, you know, leading a rebellion of some form in a safe haven. People would have known about that. The toys would have talked about it. Even if they went savage or feral, there would be talk about it. There would be more, there would be multiple different groups of people who are attempting, you'd find these hidden safe havens and stuff that these toys and kids have built, that whether failed. Like, there needs to be more environmental storyline. Like, you can see, like, the growth, and, like, you can come to these conclusions, and then when they're the main focus of the chapter, it kind of pulls things together for people who might not have gotten, or younger ones, you know, like, again, show don't always tell. Like, like, the flyer of, like, Poppy being like, oh, don't trust her, you know, whatever. Like, my thing is now, I'm looking at it, like, to my knowledge, Poppy Playtime has not had an inventory system till this chapter. Why? Like, it feels like they just added it in to, like, and it's not explained, it's all just chucked in a tutorial, like, oh, all of a sudden now you can pick up notes and stuff. What? Like, that just, I don't know, it feels cheap. Like, I would have rather have seen them, like, pick up a binder and there's slots for, like, the notes and stuff, and you have, like, him, like, opening the binder and stuff. That would have been kind of more, like, instead of, like, all of a sudden, like, notes, look. I mean, I may be completely wrong, honestly. But it just feels like... It feels like they were getting way... Well, no, there were notes. Wait, no, there were notes. There were notes. But I don't think there was an inventory system, was there? But, like, I don't know. And it felt rushed. I get people, like, it looked finished, but it felt like they were just, okay, we only have a limited amount of chapters. We only have a limited amount of chapters. Let's go. Like, a 4-hour chapter, or a 4-hour or more long chapter. Like, and that's how long, I guess, Super Mike played. It was, like, 4 to 5 hours. But, like, you could have broken it down quite a bit more. Like, again, break it into things, do 2-hour-long segments of, like, okay, following this character and this character, you know. And honestly, I wish there was more set up for each character in, like, they played up, the Pianosaurus, like, this big character, and then he's just died by Doey. And it's like, Doey's like, and I haven't eaten in a while. And I'm like, I would have rather seen Doey, like, stand over you, kind of look at you, like, after killing Pianosaurus Rex, and you kind of, like, he's like, maybe mentions, like, you're one of Poppy's. And, like, he kind of leads you along, like, he's very unsure of you again. Like, you can see him, like, bring the corpse, because, like, all the toys are starving. And he just ate Pianosaurus and did not leave food for anyone else, even though he is quite literally probably the eldest and wanting to help the kids. Like he says one thing, like, I don't know. Yarnby, he was okay. Granted, I was watching against Mike, who, I don't know. Like, Yarnby just felt, like, very kind of gimmicky, which he was a fun concept. Like, but, like, his whole story was, oh, he's more animalistic. Oh, this is amusing. I'm gonna keep him and isolate him. But then later on he says, oh, I hate when they're animalistic. It's awful, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, you like Yarnby, and Yarnby has served your purpose. But others who are animalistic don't. And, like, the implication that, I think they mentioned that they had to be smart for doing cinema and stuff, so they were planning on doing shows and shorts and stuff for these guys. So, like, on one hand, like, you could do that with it's much easier to do with something that's animalistic. I mean, I guess, agreed, aggressive would mean less so, but, like, there's just things that, like, and it could just be I'm that type of person that overanalyzes and picks things apart, but, like, you know. Overall, I do like the concepts. I do like the puzzles are a lot of fun. I like the code ones. Those are clever. Those were kind of neat. I did like that you can move boxes and jump on them and stuff. That was kind of fun. I think they disabled some of the arms, which I know is this thing that happened with Mommy Longlegs, but, you know. Overall, I think it's an okay chapter. Not the best, though. Like, it was a good chapter, but they could have done better. Anyway. I got about, like, a minute left to talk and ramble. But, yeah. Those are my thoughts about Chapter 4. If you want to hear me talk more about it, let me know. I do have a couple OCs that I've made for Poppy Playtime that I've drawn once or twice. That's it. But, you know, yeah. Like, I don't know, I don't know, like, it feels weird, like, I'm gonna have to watch a lore breakdown or something, because I'm like, yeah. It is what it is, so, you know, I guess, you know, there's a phrase, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, but, like, you know, anyway, I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, or, like, the other chapters, too, because that would be kind of, you know, neat to see, my opinion, like, because I just like knowing, like, what others think, and, like, about things, and, like, what their theories are, so, like, feel free to let me know in the comments. Yeah, have a nice day, y'all.